Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a bit of a Sprocket tutorial. So this was actually requested to me by a viewer recently about how to install custom decals and custom camo paints and how to use them. I didn't do this I didn't do this video previously because I figured everybody kind of knew and or that there was other tutorials out there, and apparently I was wrong because yeah, I've been requested to do a tutorial, so let's do this thing. So let's start off with, when it comes to the decals, they need to be a PNG file. Okay. Now when it comes to the camos, they can either be a JPEG or a PNG. But that's pretty much the file types you're limited to. At least that's to my knowledge. And I could be mistaken about that. But pretty much everything I've ever received by anyone and what I've ever used for decals has been a PNG. And then for camo paints, either PNG or JPEG. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to open up Documents. You're going to go to My Games. And then you're going to open up Sprocket. Okay? And you got decals and you got paint. So your decals, click and drag these over. Okay. And then for your paint, click and drag these over. That's all you got to do. So any paint or camo goes to paint. Any decals goes to the decals file. I like that feature because then they can be used on either or. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what profile you have. I have two profiles because I have Community Steel, plus I have my own tank collection, so I have to have two profiles. Now, let me open up my game, get in game, and show you some of these custom decals and how this stuff works. All right, here, folks, I'm in game now. So let's get my sandbox loaded up here. I'll load a couple vehicles that uses custom decals so you can see this. Although I do want to throw out there really quick, too, and this is in my experience, with my knowledge and things I have dealt with in the past, when it comes to decals, less is more. I have so often where people cover these vehicles in ridiculous amount of decals to add dirt, grime, rust, etc. And all they end up doing is adding problems because it will dog down your PC the more decals that you have, especially when you have a situation where you have a lot of vehicles loading at once. It tends to really dog down your computer. And I have a high-end gaming machine. This is not some low-end potato. This is high-end gaming hardware. And I've had issues in the past running vehicles that have a lot of decals. The next thing, too, is I've noticed is the more decals you have, the less likely they are going to load. But so here's a couple decals I have. And both those decals are custom. Well, technically all four of them, but they're just two different types. And you just use them like you would the normal decals and paints that you have in game. So for the paints, you go to your livery, you got paints. Okay, if you look here, you have forest, autumn, snow, desert, custom. Anything that you load will end up here in custom. And then essentially you can change how it looks just by using the slider bars like you would for normal paints. Okay? Nothing too fancy there. You can change the scaling, the roughness, etc. Okay? And then when it comes to decals, it's the same thing. You have emblems, flags, custom, and that's where you're going to find all your custom decals. And then it's just like applying a normal decal. Okay, so nothing fancy there, and I do have a tutorial that goes like more advanced in the scaling and the color changing of the paints and stuff like that. So I would say definitely check that out if you really have no idea whatsoever how to use that type of stuff. But realistically, it's okay. I have no idea what I just did there. There we go. Remove that. And I need to reload my Soviet base here. Well, actually, I don't even have to do that. I can reload the vehicle. But here, let's load another vehicle. Here's one I did with custom camo. Doesn't look too bad. And actually, these camos, I don't know, I can't remember who did it, but a lot of the camos I used were actually ported over from World of Tanks, as well as some of the logos and that I used were ported from World of Tanks, or they were ported from War Thunder. But I've also uploaded images myself and put them into my game files. So I mean, it's not really hard to use this type of stuff, and realistically, it's pretty much all in your imagination and what you can get your hands on. I've even had some. I'll see if I can load this, find this one really quick here. I actually had one custom made for a tank I wanted to do because we couldn't get a good copy of the decal. Oh, I'm trying to find it. Bear with me, folks. Here we go. This is a decal I actually had made, a member of my community make for me. So that way I could remake Thunderbolt 7 in Sprocket. Because Creighton Abrams is a badass. But either way, folks, I'm pretty much going to wrap this tutorial up at that. I just wanted to do this quick, dirty live, get it done, get it out there, show you guys how to do this kind of stuff for those people who don't know how to do this kind of stuff yet. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Share this around to your buddies who don't know how to do this stuff. Spread the knowledge, because knowledge is power, that type of stuff. Anyway, folks, once again, thank you very much for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful day.